Hello again, Gills fans, and welcome back to another episode of Gills in the Blood TV. Yes, it is that time of the week again. It is Monday, so I am looking back at the weekend's game with the posh Peterborough United, that late draw. So we will crack straight on and firstly talk about Steve Lovell, who was praising the attitude of the Gills boys in the fact that we went right to the end, and this is the quote that's popping up on your screen right now. I think that sums up us perfectly at the moment, that quote in the graphic. We never say die, we roll our sleeves up, we go right to the end, and we got an equaliser, and that is what we deserve, said Steve after Max Amar's late leveller, which cued absolute pandemonium in the Rain Amend. And I did, on the match day live, I did say, I must admit, I thought that a pitch invasion, that's what I labelled it, was slightly over the top. But with hindsight, looking back, I don't think it was really a pitch invasion, and there didn't seem to be anything harmful in it going off, and it was great to see. And we've wanted a proper atmosphere at the Priestfield for a long time now, and it's getting back to that. So fingers crossed, those that have come the last couple of weeks and taken advantage of the ticket deal that the chairman put in place will keep returning, and that the attendances will get boosted. But yeah, in terms of the game, wasn't the best. Weather was appalling. Pitch ain't the best. Football wasn't great. I've said on the match day live that I thought first half was pretty poor in terms of chances created. They had more of it, but played a lot of the time in front of us, and we was pretty comfortable defensively, and we didn't offer anything going forward. Second half, I thought we were better, and then obviously we conceded, which was slightly frustrating. But as you know, last 15 minutes absolutely battered them. We had the goal that never was. Steve Lovell does touch on that, says that maybe Josh Parker was slightly frustrated that he didn't put the first header away, and then he's trying to claim that his second effort went over the line. I am still saying it went over. I thought it was well over and that Jonathan Bond rolled back with it, but it wasn't to be, and that's the second time this season if it has not been given and he's missed out, but we can't do anything about it now. But credit Max Amar right at the end, brilliant finish, striker's finish maybe. Thought Jonathan Bond could have probably done a bit better with it if we'd been on the other end of it, and maybe Thomas Holy had let that through him. I think we'd have been saying that he was slightly at fault, but who cares? It was a late leveller, pandemonium in the Rain Amend, absolutely brilliant to see. Hopefully you've watched our match day live and caught all the raw emotion from myself and Boz. Yeah, it was brilliant, a brilliant ending, and that's now 3 points gained in the last minute of the last two home games. Tommy's late penalty earned us the win against Fleetwood a couple of weeks ago, and obviously Max's late leveller on Saturday, and we've still not suffered back-to-back defeats under Steve Lovell, which is great. Obviously we've spoken about this man a little bit, and I want to say Max Amar, best German centre-half around, especially in Kent. No, seriously, took a lot of stick beginning of the season from plenty of our fans, and I thought it was a little bit unjust. He's a very good League One centre-half in my opinion, and he has benefited again from playing with a regular partner. If you think last season when he was getting stick, all sorts of accusations were being chucked at him, couldn't head the ball, couldn't do this, couldn't do that, was slow. He had to play in different systems with different partners all the time. It was changing from week to week. You can't get any rhythm, can't get any continuity, can't get any consistency. It continued a little bit at the beginning of the season when we were struggling under Adi Pennock. Thought it was harsh. Got switched to midfield, done very, very well as a holding midfielder. And since he's gone back into centre-half alongside Gabriel Zakwani, them two have been absolutely first class. And it's only a couple of weeks ago I said that I don't think there's a better pairing in League One at the moment. I feel that strongly. I think they're absolutely superb. They complement each other. Zach, the wall, out-and-out defender, head it, win it, tackle it, kick them. Max can play a little bit more, and that gives him freedom to do that. And you've seen with his goal, super first touch to get it under control. Super finish, hit the target, and for me, excluding Thomas Holy and Tom Eves, I'd have him down as a massive contender for player of the season at the moment. So credit to Max, credit to everyone else, great goal and great scenes at the end of the game. Right, as we try to do every week, looking inside the Monday Medway Messenger, Amar rescues last gasp point, that is the main headline there. Already spoken about it a lot, like to always look at Luke Cordell's final paragraph, and this week it says, not a bad point for the Gills against a decent team with promotion ambitions. A busy period now awaits, and with 4 games left this month, The direction of Gill's season should be much clearer by then. Not that anybody should be too disappointed if it ends up with a bit of mid-table obscurity. Could not agree more, Luke. We spoke last week, myself and Boz and Dave as well, on various vlogs, and it's nice to be talking about the playoffs. Of course it is, but it is still a long shot. The gap hasn't really grown too much over the last 2 games when we've only taken 1 point from 6, which is great to see. I'm still not even contemplating looking below us at the moment. I think that's there's no need for that. I think we're playing far too well, and we will comfortably get to 50+ points. So in terms of relegation, I'm going to stick my neck on the line and say we're not in any danger at all. But yeah, it's if we were to finish where we are now, I think every Gills fan would be happy, considering after a dozen games when Adrian Pennant left, we were all but guaranteed to get relegated into League Two, I think. Match ratings, we did ours on Saturday, and we weren't too far off with Luke, to be fair. So I'll shout the player's name out, and then Luke's rating, and then what we gave. Thomas Holy 6, 6.5. Luke O'Neill 6, 6.5. Max Amar 8, 8. Gabby Zaquani 7, 7. Bradley Garmston 6, 6. Jake Hessenthaler 7, 6.5. Mark Byrne 7, 6.5. Callum Riley 6, 6.5. Josh Parker 6, 6. Tom Eves 6, 6. Elliot List 6, 6. Substitutes, they gave Scott Wagstaff a 7, we gave him a 6. Connor Ogilvie, they gave a 6, as did we. And they didn't give a rating to Connor Wilkinson, but I thought he was really good, and I thought we helped change the course of the game in that last 15-20 minutes. I gave him a 7. I thought he was very good. He's another one that's come under a little bit of for a little bit of flack from Gills fans, and it's understandable. There's sometimes you just think, is he interested? And for all the attitude and the way we work now, it just becomes a little bit frustrating. But I think there is a good player in there, and I think Steve Lovell is gradually getting the best out of him. But I want to talk more in depth about this man, and he is coming up on your screen right now. That is obviously Jake Hessenthaler, our central midfielder, who was very pivotal in the lead up to the equaliser at the weekend. Probably done the work that a lot of people won't mention, won't notice. It was him that ran into the stand to grab the ball and get us moving again quickly. And obviously from Ryan Tafazoli's slice clearance, Max Amar was allowed to run through, chest down, and bury his shot into the middle of the net before disappearing under a sea of players and fans in the corner of the Raynham end. The more I talk about it, the more fun it looked. Should have got involved. But no, Jake Hessenthaler, for me, takes undue stick again, similarly to Max Amar, just because of who his dad is, and I think that's unfair. I think too many compare him to Andy, think that he's going to be exactly the same type of player. He isn't. But I think the people that come out and say he's only in the team because of who his dad was, I think that's absolutely ludicrous. So are we seriously sitting here and saying that Peter Taylor, Justin Edinburgh, Adrian Pennock and Steve Lovell are all only picking him because of who his old man was? Really? I'll let you answer that, Gills fans, but for me it's absolute nonsense. He's a decent League One centre midfielder. He's not going to go and grab games by the scruff of the neck and be 8 and 9 out of 10 every week in a sort of Bradley Dack mould, but he very rarely has a very poor game. He works hard, he's tidy enough in possession, and he does exactly what he says on the tin. I'm not sure what people want from him more. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He's not a sitter. He's not an anchor man. He's not a number 10. And he chips in with decent moments. And I can't understand this flack that he gets. So is it, like I say, I'll ask the question again, is it because people think he's going to be Andy Hessenthaler? Well, he's not. Don't forget he was at Chelsea as a kid as well, so they wouldn't have looked at him if he didn't have some ability. But for me, been decent again, started the last 8 games. We've only lost once in that period, so he can't be doing too much wrong. Anyway, enough about me and Jake Hessenthaler talk. Let's move on to a little bit of news in brief. Steve Lovell is speaking about Elliot List in the paper, says that List's licensed to thrill. But he really rates him, it seems. Steve Lovell really rates Elliot List. He is a talent, but he seems a little apprehensive when he gets the ball, says Lovell. He is quick, he can beat people, and he proved that when he did it, but he doesn't do it enough. That's what I've said plenty of times about Elliott List. For me at the moment, he still looks better when he comes on for 20, 25 minutes, half an hour. Tired legs, pace to burn, gets to the byline, creates opportunities. I think he plays it a little bit safe when he starts. Maybe he doesn't want to, you know, make a mistake for fear of being dropped. I'm not sure. Obviously, only Elliott can answer that. But there seems to be a very decent League One footballer in there. And I've said all for ages that pace is the threat at this level. So just be braver. Trust your own ability. That's what I'd say. I think because he's doing all right. He still needs that first goal, but the quicker that comes, the better. But yeah, Elliott List is doing fine. Darren Oldacre scored twice for Hive at the weekend in their 6-0 win, so that's good to see. He's getting more minutes. And Greg Cundall has gone on loan to Kingstonian, which is where Noel and Bo was earlier on in the season. Incidentally, Noel is back with us now. So yeah, that's the news in brief. Not loads this week. And now let's look forward to our midweek fixture. We are playing Northampton away tomorrow evening, Tuesday. I think Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's done an half-decent job there. He had to go in and sort out what looked like an unbalanced and top-heavy squad due to the work of someone else. But he's doing all right. He's doing all right. There was a lot of player turnover, I think, in January as he tried to get in people in positions that he wanted. The big one, I think, was Kevin Von Veen, surprisingly left promotion chasing Scunthorpe United to join what is effectively a relegation battle. They have picked up recently. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And obviously another big player for them is John Joe O'Toole, who pipped Tom Eves to January's Player of the Month, the Swain. But no, he's going to be a threat. If he's on his game, he's very good. I think he set up all 3 goals at the weekend when they beat Wimbledon 3-1 away. So he's going to be in top form, full of confidence again. And looking at corresponding form, we cannot split them. Last 6 in League One, home and away. Northampton 1-1-1, drawn, lost 1. So that is 13 points from 18. Gills last 6 in League One, 1-1, 1-1, lost, drawn, 13 points from 18. Northampton last 6 at home, 1 drawn, lost, 1-1 lost, 10 points from 18. Gills last 6 on the road, drawn, lost, 1-1-1, lost. You guessed it, 10 points from 18. In terms of team news for us, Lee Martin should be back. Steve Lovell has alluded to that, said he probably could have risked him at the weekend, but he didn't want to, and then maybe lose him for a few weeks instead of just 90 minutes, so that's probably sensible. I said at the time I didn't think the system helped us on Saturday on the match day live. We switched to 4-4-2 flat and pushed Elliott List out wide and got Josh Parker back up top, but for me, Callum Riley was a bit like a duck out of water. It didn't really work with him wide left. He improved second half. I'm not sure if we changed the system again, but as a flat 4, I didn't think it was working, and I thought we really missed the skipper. There was no one dropping off and playing in between the lines of midfield and their defence, and linking balls from sort of Mark Byrne and Jake Essenthaler up to Tom Eves. So yeah, in terms of a team for tomorrow night. Yeah, so as I've said, in terms of a team for tomorrow night, I'd probably make a couple of changes. I would go Thomas Holy in goal. I would go Luke O'Neill and Connor Ogilvie as the fullbacks. I'm not sure whether Bradley Garmston can play 2 games in 3 days still. He come off early again on Saturday. I'm not sure why, whether there was a niggle or they're still protecting him. But thinking behind that is we don't want to lose him either. So yeah, Luke O'Neill and Connor Ogilvie would be the fullbacks. Obviously, I would keep Max Amart and Gabriel Zaquani in the middle of defence. I would then stick to the diamond. I would have Mark Burns sitting, Callum Riley and Jake Essenthaler from the side. The skipper comes back in at the point of the diamond for me, and up front I would go Tom Eves and Connor Wilkinson. As I've already said, I thought we made a difference when he came on Saturday. Josh Parker don't quite seem at it at the moment. He scored obviously in the weekend, the win at Scunthorpe a couple of weeks ago, but he's been big enough to admit that he's not playing well. Wasn't at his best again Saturday, albeit in a slightly different position. For a period of the game, so maybe just drop him to the bench, freshen him up, and Connor Wilkinson deserves a shot. In terms of a bench, I'll go Thomas Hadler, Bradley Garmston, Ben Nugent, Frank Musa, Scott Wagstaff, Elliott List and Josh Parker. That would be mine. And a prediction. Well, if you look at the form, so what do we say? Both have got 13 out of 18 with identical records in their last 6 in the league. Both have got 10 points from 18 in their last corresponding 6 home and away games respectively. So, head says 1-1. they have picked up recently. I don't think a point would be a disaster. Be another point closer to that 50-point mark that Steve Lovell keeps going on about. But my heart says if we can pinch the first one, maybe we'll nick it 2-1. So I'm going to go 1-1 head, 2-1 Gill's Heart. Fingers crossed we can pick up 3 points. It'd be massive with Walsall home coming up on Saturday. Anyway, that is enough from me today. Thanks as always for watching. Please comment just down there in that box below in YouTube or on Facebook and on Twitter. Yeah, that's me done. Until Thursday, up the Gills.